Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to this episode of Gupta, which we will see the conclusion of this war against the Pala. Originally it went very bad, which the Pala did strike back, and then we made a comeback ourselves, even though we had to use mercenaries and whatnot. And my presence here improved the conditions here, as I am the commander of, technically the commander of the Gupta army, but I had to take command of my own army. The same army that what won us Bihar, as well as my father, who is 81 years old. And he's still in hiding, which one would think he's probably been living in seclusion, like he was in meditation. So let's get on with this. And plus, I am the champion of the Wheel of Life and Death, so I'll have to be taking on many pretenders, which challenged me in C2 if I could become the grand champion. My court guru, he claims that he would be a better fighter than the majority. Oh yes, of course, because you have great skill. Should research cultural tech. I know we don't usually do that, and I don't game piety that much. This is for, like, it's hard to get heretical fine as a Hindu, since there's no heresies in Hinduism. But maybe it's just lost, so let's give that a try. Armies are linked up. Head to Radha. So we're splitting forces here. As I've recently become a brilliant strategist. What Gopala the Young is there. If we capture him in battle, then that's how we're gonna end it. But I still want to defeat their very best commander that they brought against us. Because that man must be stopped. Even though we have the numbers, but we just want to make sure that he is not a threat to Gupta interests anymore. Not defeated yet, but we'll remain here. Surprised no one else is there to attack them, whereas the Ayudas did not attack us because of them. Nor Chetty attempted to revolt against them. Again, he hates me, but he's okay with the father of mine. Too bad this war isn't going to be over before Diwali. Let's go in deep. Just take as much territory as you can. We'll engage smaller forces first. Govinda Chandra, as I said, he must be stopped. My wife's pregnant. Thank you. Thank you, Vishnu. Or anyone. Or maybe Shakti, since she's a Shaktiist. "82 years old, my father." We're not going to catch any of them in time. This is where they're going to make a stand, at Rajaganesha. Here's pretender number 1. That's 1. You know it's a temple holding. They're not going to last long. Didn't know they were migrating to there. Possibly 100 Jains. Who knows? But we're going in after them. And a remnants of the Gupta army will be there too. Once you occupy another holding, and in one more decisive battle, we should win this war. And father can finally come out of hiding and return to his administrative duties. While I'll try to start a family. During the battle, I catch a sight of a scarred man who looks a lot like my friend Nigranta Govindachandra. You know, he lives here, you know? Then he is struck down. Suddenly I'm pushing soldiers out of the way, hurrying over, I saw him fall. I know it's not Nigranta Govindachandra, but I cannot help myself. I don't have much traits. I mean, there's room for one more, so I will say, well, we must remember to tend to our wounded. Patience. There goes our main sources of revenue. So that is it. The war is won. Oh, well, let's return to normalcy. I have heard of the Manasa philosophy and can feel that its methodic, respectful, and epistemological ideas have certain similarities with the Samkhya philosophy. Want to delve deeper into it? This will be a good change. Again, it was my father's guru who taught me about philosophy. And I want to switch from one philosophy to another. Come out, father. It's all over now. No one's gonna threaten you anymore. There we go. He's back. Though he's become weary. I saved your country, father. Old age, poor taste. The man threatens to kill me. Well, we'll tell him to stop. But when they rebuild their strength, they could potentially be a strong kingdom again. So we'll do anything to support him. Come to a great monastery renowned in all my realm for its dedication to learning. The head monk tells me that I may acquire one of the many books for a price. He also hints that a larger donation will lead to more books in the future. Yeah, we got pretty good income, so I would say a collaboration sounds like a splendid idea. And when father passes away, I will get to inherit some of his wealth. Right. Well aware that some of them are Buddhists. And he is resting right now. I guess he's been under a lot of stress lately. Hinduism continues to spread in these areas. Surprised you haven't been taught philosophy, Father. As I remember the tradition faction, which we just want to see traditions to be ran well around here. Give you respect and all. That patience paid off. I was about to say, took a while for you to get a reply. How you doing, Father? Just ransom. So that, I guess you just had to, you know, get some money, right, to ransom somebody. What's your stewardship skill compared to mine? 11, 13 for me. I have a daughter. Kanchani. You just turned him from Veka to Pujari. Strange. Appreciates Hindus, but despises Byzantine cultures. Open. Alright. Can't wait to move to Magadh, not as a counselor, but as Maharaja, when he passes away peacefully. Nice and peaceful. Happy to have a family of my own. For now, until I have a son. But I gotta keep that war focus up until I become Grand Champion. Then I may move on to other things. I hereby invite you to attend my celebration at the Feast of Kali Puja. Must be first of its kind. Of course I'll attend. I'll buy a jeweled necklace for my wife. She'll love me even more. Kali Puja. You know, that's a Bengali tradition around here. We usually hold Diwali, but Kali Puja for rare occasions. I am sitting at a table during the feast, enjoying the food and drink, and suddenly I hear wild chattering and screaming. A group of small monkeys enter through the open window. They quickly spread the whole, causing chaos. They pull people's hair, And clothes, steal food, spill wine, drink wine, defecate on the tables, the feast hall's in uproar. Oh my. How is this my fault? My father came up with this Kali Puja feast. It's time for the traditional ceremony of gifts. She's my lover now. Several black goats are brought forth by the priests. The goats are laid down on a large statue of Kali and their throats are cut open. Blood is collected in bowls and made of human skulls and presented to the crowd. A chanting arises, then a cheer, as the holy sacrifice to the goddess of death, time, and of the blackest nights are made. Praise Kali, our mother. Strange, isn't it, for a man of your virtues? As Acharya. Yeah. Despite the monkey business. Oh, I actually owe a favor to that man. Would you mind giving me some money? Thank you. Because we might need some of that money when I become Maharaja. Righting or wrong. One of these days my spouse came to me with a complete stance and talked about a huge injustice that befell a friend, Nayana Devi. Nayana Devi. As it turned out, she was framed by a master trigger in my Silveratas of asking me to move heaven and earth to undo such an evil deed. My diplomacy, skill, diligent, patient. Yes, I can arrange that. I'll accept that request, and I will socialize it too, you know. Accede to the request. Raja Kuru, it's far from here. What can I do for you? I'll offer you advice and training. I'm not going to send troops over there. Too far away. That's due to my wife's stewardship skills. 83 years old and counting. I think an ascetic lifestyle does prolong your life. Hell, if he wants to, he could live up to 200. And how long he's been Maharaj? Oh boy, it would be a miracle if he makes it to 10 years. Peasant revolt. Keep in mind, I'm still trying to antagonize Govinda Chandra, not Nirgranta Govinda Chandra, Commander Govinda Chandra of the Pala army, because he's dangerous. Get in shape, quick. It is with a sense of fulfillment that I see my efforts to clear the name of Nayana Devi being successful. Nothing like a small feast once close to me celebrates such an effort. My dear Sarada looks so wonderful and so happy. Yeah, she's the old assassin. Impressed by the way I did what she asked, my Silveratas became more eager to meet me at night, and time spent had become wilder and wilder. It's no wonder with that such passion and lust. One day a child was conceived. To the future of our child. Well, she is my lover. Can't blame myself because I'm handsome and all that. I'm surprised you're still alive in all this, Ronnie. You know, being a leper and all. Not much resources, but hang on. There's some over there. Don't worry, I got my future mapped out. Oh, I'm slowly rebuilding a strength, and so is the Gupta Kingdom. After many years of warfare. While we're trying to root out corruption. There, it took a while for her to be announced as pregnant, despite that one night that we had. And boy, what a beautiful night it was. Now, someone presented me with a large gift of orangana. Looks like we'll have to eat a lot of that for a while. And also, some cinnamon with that. Haven't forgotten my love of cinnamon somewhere. I'm still obsessed with it to this day. Another peasant revolt? Yep. Gets me kind of paranoid because they have a far better strength than the Gupta Kingdom. You may never know, they'll strike back again. She already likes me so much. Do I need to sway somebody else? Oh no, that's someone else named Suvrata. Otherwise it would have said Rani Suvrata. After weeks of mingling, we managed to introduce Rani Suvrata to every notable person at court. Each night we feasted together in the main hall, talking about the latest news, listening to the newest songs. The palace was enriched by your visit. You're still trying to discredit it. Again, I feel at peace now, but still gotta become a champion. And then after become grand champion, I will go on one more warrior pilgrimage. There goes the guru. And after that, and when I become Maharaja, don't rush the day. To wonder how my father lived much longer than any of the past Guptas. In fact, let's have a look at that right now in its history of Magadha. He was 40, he was 50, 36, 50, 55, 50, 50, 62, 55, 40, 37. Yep, fathers lived a lot longer. That ascetic lifestyle must have worked for him. Maybe one day I should follow his path and become an ascetic. Not necessarily Hindu, but possibly Jain. Possibly Jain because of my friend and Advaita, who recently got over his stress. It's possible that the Indo-Greek, who's Jain, will be in charge of the area. But I'm saving that money for the Magadha region. Revoke war. Oh, he's sickly. Think of an interesting name. Rather than Gupta, because that's what the surname is for. Vijay Narayan. Vijay means victory. Narayan. Father? Oh. For some reason he just became stressed, but it got so stressed. It was a severe stress he just got, and he died in December. Well, I was gonna... Well, he was already a grandfather at this point, but... Farewell, Father. Ramagupta the Wise. At least he attained enlightenment, despite the fact he became craven and weary and stressed, but he was still virtuous enough and honest, so overall he was a good person. He's only killed one, but that was a long time ago. No, that happened recently. Down in the dungeons. Okay, stop right here. So... How do I put this? Ramagupta, the man who, when he was 5 years old, went to Mithila, in Serene province, and still remains so to this day for the most part. A lot of shipments thanks to the members of the Trade League, particularly this Jewish friend of mine here. He ain't my friend, but one day, just one day. And Ramagupta, till at a much later age, in his 70s, he was able to return thanks to Rajaganesha, who at 33 is the new Maharaja of the Gupta Kingdom. And this recent succession that just took place, despite the fact that he broke an alliance one time, but it was for political reasons. And just inherited my father's abacus. Stewardship up, learning up. Chandra Sen, old buddy. Listen, friend. You could be better off some other use. We're just switching accounts all around. Revoked your honorary title. Well, you were a terrible court physician. And plus, moved the capital to Magadha, so I am here now. But it's still a corrupted province. And we're gonna make some changes here. Starting with this the castle town. Just to give you something to do. Set the crown focus here. We gotta turn this province back to being peaceful. Looking for a new position as well. Despite father's passing, so I figured, yeah, with those skills I'm ready for this kind of responsibility. Controlling an independent kingdom. At expanse of Bihar into Chedi, which is the area of Gondwana. Ready for that kind of commitment. So let us hold a coordination ceremony. Being officially coordinated by a priest of my faith will legitimize my rule among my subjects and offers a chance to impress my allies. I already rule the Gupta Kingdom, but receiving official Hindu coordination will legitimize my standing to my vassals. Now it's time to begin what is sure to be a lavish ceremony attended by all. I look forward to it. The invitations will be sent. As you will be holding a proper Hindu coordination, I'll be pleased to offer my services as a performance ceremony. May Supreme watch over you. Yeah, you're a former Buddhist. Well, you ought to be careful. So, you better be sober for this particular day, alright? May you perform the ceremony. While scouring the Silk Road Market in Magad, my scouts came across a Chinese traveler. This traveler, named Tao, claims to be a traveling surgeon poet of renowned skill. Claims the scouts were unable to verify. He offers to join a court in return to adequate compensation. A surgeon poet is what I needed. I don't know about you, but we'll give you a try. The court physician, Maharaja, why am I talking to myself? But you gotta save my Rajkumar. I brought you here for this very reason. The end of an epoch. As my actual marshal does not have the talent my past one had for logistics technology, my holdings slowly lose the benefits of the previous military reforms. Oh, that was applied to here, not the rest of Bihar. It is a new year, in a new era. The Gupta coronation. I, Rajaganesha of the Gupta dynasty, and with the blessing of Shiva, do hereby rightfully assume the crown of the Gupta Kingdom. And with those words, does he become Maharaja Gupta Kingdom in truth, with each of his vassals line up to bow before him and swear everlasting fealty. It is an impressive ceremony, led by Pujari Manava of Gaya and full of pomp and circumstance. One that will write Maharaja Rajaganesha in the history. The streets of Magadha lined with Bengali crowds cheering, with everyone straining to get a look at the important personages that pass on their way to the forthcoming feast. I have never been more proud, so I become crowned, but I may no longer become humble. Now I wear the crown of my forefathers, with the exception of Ramagupta, my father. With the coronation ceremony finished, the newly anointed Maharaja Rajaganesha retired to his castle for the celebration feast. The hall is packed with people, lords and ladies of the Gupta Kingdom, and their wives and husbands visiting Hindu rulers and emissaries. Will be a night to remember. Let the festivities commence. So, Maharaja Ratila of the Ayodhya Kingdom refused to attend coronation because he's in prison. Krishna Raja of the Cherry Raj will not be here because he's my rival. Raja Mala, who's he? Is he next door? Raja Mala. But also I've become proud because, you know, proud to be Maharaj. Rajamala. Who is he? That's gotta be him. Is he really attending a coronation? Oh, yes, he is. From far away, he's over there. Glad you come. So, and of course, my best friend, Nidni Grantha, Govinda Chandra, who introduced me to Jainism, which I may one day convert when it's convenient. So let the festivities commence. While little Vijayanarayan still appears slightly weaker than other children his age, I swear he's much more energetic than he was a couple of weeks ago. He may not be out of the woods quite yet, but the worst has passed. He's got a successful treatment. Thank you. You know, I did pick up the proud trait, so I'm not going to give Tao any credit. I'll just say, thank you myself for giving my son a second chance. Or, you know, one of the alternate names of Ganesha is Rajaganesha, or Ganapati. So maybe I'm not thinking myself as much as I'm thinking my father's patron deity. Yes. The remover of obstacles. And I have removed many obstacles in my youth. But now in my mid-30s, I'm ready for this responsibility. Coronation feast we shall have in peace. All throughout the coronation feast, Salak, son of Amun, has done nothing more to make caustic remarks about me when he thinks I'm not listening. Not even certain why he came to the coronation at all, if this is how he feels. The marshal of the Chedi Raj, and the military tutor. That's the opposite of patient. Don't do that. Endure it. It's only one evening after all. Remember what your father taught you. Taught you to be patient. To our good host, Maharaja Rajaganesha, long may he reign. Maharaja Rajaganesha ki Jai. Suvrata stands and delivers an eloquent toast in Rajaganesha's honor at the coronation feast, prompting around approving applause from those gathered. Many thanks, Suvrata. That's the spy master of Munda, who lives down there. Is it over yet? The coronation feast finally draws to a close, with Maharaja Rajaganesha giving a speech to those gathered that is barely heard by the Rasas cheering, long live the Maharaja, long live the Maharaja. The Maharaj ki Jai! The Maharaj ki Jai! Let's hope so. Thank you, friend. Now, just to make it fitting, we stop this restlessness here. And it's a mild winter, so it's warmer than usual it's been during these days of the coronation ceremony. And knowing that I control more than three, so we gotta appoint a domain overseer. My old master Chandrasen. And let's give a smuggler operation another try, since I have the intrigue for it. Don't worry, I'll lead my men to the battle. The likely war will be against the Pala Kingdom. Did your claim for Budgagiri, because that's part of the Magadha region. And then we'll fight against them in a subjugation war for the other parts of Bihar. He is one of the Bahari commanders. The messenger from the monastery I sponsored a while back, they bring the head monks or guards and a brand new book from my library. I knew that would pay off. That's another learning book, the Brahmanas. The Brahmanas are a collection of ancient Indian texts with commentaries on the hymns of the four Vedas. They are primarily a digest of incorporating myths, legends, and the explanation of Vedic rituals, and in some cases, speculation about the natural phenomena or philosophy. That's +1 learning. So I have 2 learning books combined, so there you go. not at full strength from the whole domain yet. Can't take them on just yet. This is gonna be a tough one. Gotcha. 5 more to go. Once I become Grand Champion, I will go on 1 more warrior pilgrimage, and then this is probably going to be highly likely that I will convert to Jainism, because knowing that she's got a lot of years ahead of her and a lot more children, then I would have to designate an heir and all that. Average smuggle operation. Thank you. So now we can make even more money here. And until we make such money, like to say ideally 300 gold, we'll search the domain for resources, as there are none here. So what happens when I fight for subjugation of Bihar? You need... Man. We need to start celebrating Diwali a lot. I must admit, I'm not as humble as I used to. Luxury clothes are trending at the moment. What about keeping your courtiers busy? Changing the fashion at court. There are better ways of spending the taxes. Here's a little bit of karma for you. Let me guess. I had to spit something out. Kanchani Gupta happened to be a monster. Have to get rid of it before it conceives the children. Such an ugly dwarf. Oh dear. When she grows up, she'll be a court dwarf. I wouldn't say she's a monster. That's just mean. Regarding my smuggler operation, I was informed that a stolen cargo worth a fortune is waiting to be transferred abroad to be sold to a third party as soon as possible. Unfortunately, my spy master has to take care of other matters, so I'm the one that can lead the whole mission. There are rumors of a foreign operation to catch us. Intrigue, my martial education, yes. I'm not deceitful. I am brave. Intrigue stat, yes. I'll assume personal command. There's actually another source of income that we should build. Trade post. How about a festival in Magad might catch your fancy because of our stewardship education. The peasants of Magad are slowly starting to respect my rule again. I should never let my treasury go negative. Now we need to root out the smugglers. Maharaja of Mawa. So there's a new ruler here. Davasakti. I know what my coronation ceremony was like, but I doubt my father's ever been to other coronation ceremonies, so allow me to represent. So I'll be glad to attend. I know you're a little dwarf, but I gotta be nice here. Helps with the skills. All kinds of sights can be seen as we walk through the streets of Magad. Mags, jugglers, and the people are having fun around us. I decided to show her the local hedge maze to top it off. I hope she will have fun. Plus, I didn't get a good look at you. You are Maharani now. It's like, yes, she looks normal, but if she was attractive, whew, she would be like the goddess. But again, just both lusty people. just a lucky man. But again, I gotta thank the new Granta. He's the one that's responsible for introducing this sort of thing to me. But he is called the Silent because he is shy. That reminds me. Hey! You need to repay that favor for me. Need piety because for the future subjugation war for parts of Bahar. At the start we were having fun as we walked through the hedge maze, but at some point we started losing track of where we are. I get to a crossroad, but I'm not sure which path I have to take to get us out. I could become honest, but my diplomacy is good enough, so I will confidently take a path and hope for the best. Yes, the Pratihara coordination. Maharaja Deva Saktik Dig Jai. Now, off you go. This will be quite a celebration. Even though your crown is different than mine. Looks nice on you. We're both military men. The only difference between us is that we only care about our well-being. We do border with them, barely, while they've been defending India from Islamic attacks. The mission to transport very valuable cargo abroad to transfer associates was a success. Commanded everything with expertise, and it is deep satisfaction to see the admiration of men for my deed. A princely sum was made indeed. Yeah, I've been spending a lot lately, but and we went hunting instead of going through a maze. We got bored, so we went hunting. Near Granta, Jagat saw my merits of my request and proceeded to address my spiritual concerns with religious authorities that granted their blessings upon my soul. I feel so much better. So much better. He doesn't have any mercenaries right now. Long he may reign. It was a fine event, so looking forward to work with you in the future if we wish. Now we gotta hold a Diwali. Just to get more karma. Of course. That unruly vassal. Stay in shape. Leave without a word as soon as we get out of the maze. Okay, we went hunting and then we went back to the maze and all that. Sister, did you know that I'm... Well, of course she knows. She's been with me through thick and thin. Oh, not again. Can't somebody shut the windows when we do such things? Of course she's grateful. Let's celebrate. Nobody's against... Well... Take revenge on against me. Now you better stop that right now or you're gonna get yourself into trouble. In fact, we could throw you into prison right now. It won't work, but it'll do. Because our army's been slowly raising the domain. And that's the problem with the smugglers ring. It's really slowing down on the construction work in Patliputra. Civil war in China yet again. That's about as strong as they can get. I think it would be ideal to do a subjugation war. Unite the rest of Bihar, just to show that the Gupta Kingdom will be strong. As the tradition faction is now opposed. For what reason exactly? Don't worry about it. So, when I fight against them in a Nidor claim, I take personal control of the area. And yes, I have a truce with them. Was a truce, it just expired just now. So, get this territory, even though there's nothing there. But it's serene, it's peaceful. So we fight against them there. Even though we still have many battles ahead. And then we turn west against the Ayuda to unite the rest of Bihar. Then we secure the control. And then I will most likely convert to Jainism as show of, well, when I retire, I mean, you could say, after I become Grand Champion, you should leave this society and then join their monastic society. And because of knowing that we're gonna have more children together, that, that, I mean, you gotta have at least another son or two more, because that one child thing was just rather dangerous. Rather dangerous. I'm actually gonna jump a gun here. I'm get in shape. And I'll go on another war pilgrimage. This will be the last one. Because, you know, the army is not at full strength, at least the main troops. The vassal troops from these two theocracies isn't going to provide much, but it'll do. Plus the designated regent should be my old friend Govinda Chandra, the new Granta of Jharkhand. Which again, he runs the monastery of Jharkhand. And when we fight a future subjugation war against the Ayuda Kingdom, these two areas here, city, out of all the areas of the province of Jharkhand, this is the only temple, so it makes sense. Even though they're dealing with a small community of foreign individuals, but that's his business of how he wants to. What's his immigration policy? Does anybody know? And also, I'd like to have more children, so I gotta stop reading this book, because that lowers my fertility, and actually, I could have a couple of more sons and daughters from you. And now I gotta save up to 700 gold. Or just drop the idea of building a war chest. Oh, mother. Died a natural death. I outlived my parents. 2 years ago, father died. Now 2 years later, mother died. Also, you know what, sister? Rajkumari, I know you've been a leper, and I'm surprised you've been living this long. Since you're physically weak, but apparently you have a strong will, as you are kind, patient, chaste, and humble. And knowing that you can't be married off, there is one thing I must do with you, sister. Father never had a chance to do this, but... well, when I return, I'll let you know. Coronation ceremony in the Malech Kingdom. I'll be there. I'm out on an adventure anyway, so I'll just go over there. We can assume. Maharaj ki jai ho. castle town in Patliputra was finished, despite the fact that it was built previously, but after sieges. But it's back to normal stability in Magad for the first time in a long time, but that smuggler still invests Magad, which is definitely going to slow down on construction time, but I'll get my steward to work on it. Build it faster. To our good host, Maharaja Samlamba II, long he may reign, Pujari Harshavarman of Prithiminagad stands and delivers an eloquent toast in the Maharaja's honor at the coronation feast, prompting a round of approving applause when those gathered. Long he may reign. It took a while for, you know, I mean, as soon as I left Magad and they say, hey, where did he go? He was out on adventure, and the courier, excuse me, was looking for me. He's like, hey, message from coronation someone. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll be there. I'm just roaming around the country. Roaming around the Bengal region. The coronation feast goes so well into the night, I find myself frequently spending time with my host, drinking wine and laughing over stories. I leave the feeling as the two of me have gained an excellent understanding of one another. Found a new friend. Guess we have in common impatience. And we're both good fighters in our own right. And you just turned 16 recently. Nah, you wouldn't marry my sister. She has leprosy. Long he may reign. As he gave his speech to those, the auditors barely heard what Ross was cheering. Maharaj ki Jehal. So, yes, fine event. Guess he's nice. You know, he's currently being raided by Manichaeans, Uyghurs. Uyghur Manichaean. A group of wandering Buddhist monks have come to visit the province. They are staging impressive shows of acrobatic unarmed fighting techniques in the villages. Huh. Those guys are fast as lightning. Please get well, Vijay Narayan. While walking around, I see a group of people who stopped walking in the distance. Upon getting closer, I see that there is two groups, in fact. Some wandering merchants being attacked by bandits. As I went on this journey to gain field experience, this is a good opportunity. However, it can be dangerous. I'll lead the travelers to battle. Well, just got wounded. That hurt. I think a good way to sway the Maharani into liking me a bit more. What could possibly titillate the senses of a woman like her, I wonder? You know. I will send her some nice young lads. Be careful with the amount of money you're spending. Also be careful when you're going to combat wounded. Peaceful province here. This will make the job easier. At least according to reports of the group of prostitutes, male prostitutes I may add, the Maharani was extremely satisfied by my present. I suppose I'll take them on her word. Wonderful. But, you know, it's your business. Just trying to take advantage of her high fertility, and I stopped reading that book. Boy, would that be the day if I find... Dear Maharaja Rajaganesha, hey friend. I never thought I would feel the shame of asking a friend for some monetary help, but this war is threatening to run my coffers dry. I implore you as a friend to a friend for a small monetary gift that I may win this war. Who are you fighting? Oh dear, they're really going for it. Okay, tell you what, friend. Here's a little bit of money, and I'll raise the troops. These guys really want to settle there. They want to take over. Originally, the Magadha army is supposed to be, you know, the Gupta army is supposed to be for defense, but I guess we can get an early exercise, so here's the money. And in addition, we'll be sending forces your way. Yeah, we'll be linking up to you soon, because, you know, host is no good. And plus, we're against Manichaeans, so there's some piety in that. The best commander out of all is Kameshwa and Nigranta. I guess you could put him there too. So we'll be assembling here in Kamaru Panagara. Smuggler ring's been destroyed, so Maharaja is now truly peace. Now we can begin the rebuilding process. Quit spending so much damn wealth. Council's content. Getting close to the middle of the night, I was prepared to sleep under the stars if it wasn't for those old half-rotten shacks I just found. Yet, somehow it feels strange. I'm no longer hearing the nocturnal racket of the wildlife, and the moon is now hid behind a heavy veil of clouds. What is this place? I must leave this place now. Don't want to die. It would be terrible to die here. Cracking the knuckles for this. The end of the smugglers. Lately, my smuggler operators faced some serious opposition while foreign rulers countered with the force of their entire resources. My own realm intrigue was not enough to prevent the demise of the network. Fortunately, even if many of my associates were captured, my name was never mentioned. There goes my smuggler's operation. That's gonna hurt the income. Oh no. You see, this is why I stopped reading that book. And it's going to be a long time until 8:13 where we'll switch to agnatic cognatic so females may inherit. But got a lot of years to get ahead of us. Let's beat him up. Silk Road trade post is finished, so now we have another source of income. Just to stop the spending of money temporarily. Be in position here. They'll return. While roaming the lone road, I'm suddenly face to face with a fairly old man. He announced himself as Leoneno, swordmaster. He claims that I heard of my quest and offered to train my body and mind to the art of war. I have no need of your counsel. I would fight. I would tell him that I would be ready for anything if I wasn't wounded. Now I'm an unshakable leader. No atrocity could stop this man and his army, so increased defense. I'll take command here, thank you. But be ready for a challenge. Because as champion, you cannot rest, even while you're wounded. Find them. We make very little income. Ready, old man? Didn't get a scratch on me. Trick him into coming here. Nope, that didn't work. Be fighting in the jungle and crossing Brahmaputra. He's in firm, but you start. He doesn't have it in him like he used to. But he's a leader who cares. Just in time. Strong never rests. All we need to do is just win one more victory. Probably gonna be heading for Tibet. Yeah, I figured. My wife suffered a miscarriage. She should be relaxing when she's pregnant. We're going up the mountains to defeat him. The furthest we've ever gone. Food poisoning, is that the reason? I trust that she can handle it on her own. Fulfilling my dharma, or duty, is an extremely important feature in the Buddhist philosophy. From now on, you will do your best to achieve what is required of you. To lead, one must serve. Become diligent. Too many traits. Got him. Turn. Yeah, sure. You're the new. Try this. Oh, there goes my lustful trait. A prominent subject petitioned me for justice. His daughter had been supposedly beaten by Marshal Chandra Sen while he was a guest, and the father's requesting compensation. Oh, he is my marshal. Well, I'll just say that he will be fined for his crime. It's not arbitrary, because he's my, he's the one that trained me. Also, sister, since you've been a very good person, I think you should take the vows, become a sannyasini. I mean, there's nothing we can do for you. And so she's become a sannyasini, which is a Hindu nun, which she now resides in Acharya, in the Mandir, where my spy master lives. And I have no son again. I've defeated 5. Wounded him. I could have ended you, but it's the rules. Suspicious facts. I must check on the local policies of Seminole to know in detail what is going on there. Yes, I'll be intrusive, but I must keep up to date with the details of our local government. Questions must be asked, and answers must be given. I experienced this event because I'm weary. There's a chance of meeting a looted event. Text the local leaders runs particularly bad. A high intrigue helps me avoiding its bad consequences. Finally, let's have more income. It's gonna take a while again to recover the full strength. But don't spend any more money. Because soon, when we raise enough to a good degree, we'll start searching the domain for resources, unless there's a bounty in one's head, another source of income. My travels to Sima Ramapura, and my detailed inquiries about the local government went without incidents. The more I talk to all the parties involved, the more I discover about the hidden motives of everyone. Great! Blind luck or high intrigue prevented some of the bad consequences to happen from the meeting with the local leaders. Just wasn't thinking straight, that's all. Go for construction. And soon military organization be next. My knowledge of the Mu's philosophies convinced me that I should write a book commenting its main ideas. Let's see how this goes. Probably not good. I'm not that book smart, and I stopped reading one book one time. See, they're stronger than us. This is why one day we have to continue building up our strength. The sky is like waves of red and yellow and dark pink as the sun slowly wades in deeper and deeper in the horizon. Isn't it lovely? My companion asks. I don't disagree. So I begin to wake up. What a beautiful sunset I saw in my dream. But who was my mysterious companion? Maybe near Granta Govinda Chandra, one would think. Curious fatality. While traveling over the restless lands of Kutsinagara, a party of one of my courtiers was attacked and mercilessly slaughtered. A sole survivor of the massacre arrived today with palace grim news. My spy master was killed by rabble. But you, Vina. We ought to do something about that. It's a volatile province. I gotta ask the overseer to plan a mission. If I have an overseer appointed and I have good stewardship, I can ask him or her to plan a mission to increase stability in a restless or rebellious province. A decision is only available if there are provinces with negative stability and once in every 5 years. I just remembered something else. Revocation titles allowed. You got 10 years till you do that again. My overseer presents me with plans to provide just cause for our actions in one of my restless provinces. The plan details our position from a cultural and religious standpoint, aiming to establish bonds between myself and the malcontents. All this relies on the knowledge of my overseer and the ability to communicate clearly with the rebels. Now I'm the one deciding. Go ahead and provide additional funds. Hope you do well. Gee, already? The masterful way my overseer explained our points of view in religious and cultural angles to the rebels was that my province was the cause of success of the whole mission. It was always superlative when we could build bridges in this way, increasing the harmony of the territories. Didn't know he had it in him. What a positive performance. What am I gonna do with you for a favor like this? Nice. Military organization up. That's for morale of armies and more retinue cap usage in the future. Needs a little more. Oh, another book. The Little Clay Cart. That's an intrigue book. The Little Clay Cart is a Sanskrit drama attributed by the playwright Sudraka. The central story is that a noble but impoverished young Brahmin who falls in love with a wealthy courtesan. The couple's lives and love are threatened when a vulgar courtier begins to aggressively pursue Vasantasena. I actually remember that story. It's been a long time. That's real life I'm talking about, since I know some of Indian literature. Not talking about owning physical copies of the books, it's just I've seen adaptations of it somewhere. Heck, there's even a movie from Sri Lanka that has adaptation of this story. What on earth? Shanti Deva subjugation war. Shanti Deva, that's gonna make the Pala Kingdom more powerful. In fact, that's gonna create a separate kingdom. Don't intervene. We'll see what happens. Again, you do not have the strength to take him on. Oh, he's a tough one. Got him. Ha! He's been imprisoned. Well, was imprisoned. from Nepal. That is impossible. We don't think much of Nepal. We just consider it as neutral to me. Also a potential ally. Should Pala threaten us again. Many months after I started my book, I finally managed to get around the other philosophers. They unanimously asked to burn the copies before anyone finds how bad it is. My very own book. I wrote an underwhelming work. Prestige, but they didn't like it. I still desire for a son. I'm gonna get desperate. Okay, tell you what. In 2 years, if I don't impregnate you, I'm gonna get me some concubines. What? Nigrata Govinda Chandra Jarkhan try to have assassinated to make sure it discovers plot to kill Thakur Gangvasa Munda. Just assessing the situation. I'll keep it to myself. Can't say I blame him. Is the plot known? I mean, more power to you if you can get more vassals, troops for yourself, and in turn, you send some of them to me. So I actually am in favor for this. Plus, he's my friend. So go ahead with your plan. I'm all for it. Sounds arbitrary, I know. Honestly, you could have put a bounty on that man's head if you hated him so much. Plus his intrigue skills rather low. Outlived my rival. You could be a good spy master. I'm very hesitant when it comes to getting concubines because they'll have the trait, you know, child of concubine, which reduces diplomacy. And diplomacy is very important. How about a banquet? She probably won't go for it. Yeah, I figured. Slain in personal combat. Stay in shape. Govinda Chandra. That's the man I'm trying to beat. Alright, you cripple. You know, that man is the best commander of the Pala Kingdom. I've been trying to antagonize him, but he never answers any of my challenges. The Inquisitor. I guess his very high learning, prestige, and age is what's gonna make him beat his successor. You know what? Just this once. Make it disappear. Getting tired of this. I was walking by when I saw an owl. I paused for a moment to observe it, but the creature dared launch itself at me, clawing at my face and so on. My guards hurried in and scared it off, but damage was done. What did I ever do to deserve that? Look at how powerful it is. They brought mercenaries. Well, at least we don't have to intervene in that war. Because I still want to get there. I just received news that thanks to the help of a notorious criminal, Raja has been able to forge a claim against some of my lands. Does he know no decency? Because he'll be sadly mistaken when war is declared and will be raised another army to fight against him for the defense. Yeah, I think you could be a good spy master. Just to keep you happy. Getting a little bit of graces because he likes Hindus. In that case... Man. Do you think he's outlived his usefulness? Oh, Govinda Chandra's much better. You know what, yeah. It's time for you to go. I'll miss you. Only because the Emperor likes Hindus. And then we'll send that good-for-nothing as a eunuch. Now that I have a lot of this, I got a couple of requests. Peace deal. To protect the general, the great emperor addresses the letter to the brave Maharaja of the Gupta Kingdom. Heaven's blessing upon thee. The heavenly Sun Shenzi, Emperor Galzu of the Dai Empire, has decided there shall be no war and strife between our two nations. His infinite mercy and wisdom is an inspiration to us all. A 50-year peace. May there forever be harmony between the houses of Sun and Gupta. I think it's Sun, not Sun. Not sure. We'll have another request next year. Likely a Chinese artifact. Haven't gone to China yet, but I'll do it at a much, much later date. I'll miss Transerson. I'm a much better warrior than he is. Take revenge? What did she ever do to you? No. So he wasted his money on firing mercenaries. 3,000 strong. This is near 3,000 strong. Almost. And as I said, till I turn 40, I'm gonna get desperate. Unless I may have to switch for a family focus. For the time being. Because I lost a lustful trait. I mean, you're gonna get combat's gonna increase every time you duel somebody. No matter what. Wait a minute. Up and go. One of the Pala commanders. Two more to go. And then I'll be Grand Champion and will retire as Grand Champion. They're badly beaten here. Failed to realize that the young Maharaja is a strong giant who's also a formidable fighter. An elephant has gone crazy and is running amok in a town outside of the castle. He's already killed several people. What shall we do? Try to capture it. It was almost impossible to capture the crazy beast. It killed several more people, flattened a couple of buildings, and run off into the countryside. Unfortunate. Had to pay the gold for compensation. Look, I would help my friend out, but the money is better used elsewhere. Again, till I turn 40, I will switch to a family focus and then get concubines, which I have been very hesitant to. Or alternatively, find a, I don't know, another charming woman. Because if you're going to arrange a divorce, ever since she had a miscarriage, because I have not impregnated her since that miscarriage. I would sell it for 86 gold, which seems steep. $3 a month? Yard has a strong claim. They call him the Viper. Oh, I know what he's doing. Since he's a man of high intrigue. June 24th, remember that. The population of wolves in Mathil has grown to such a size that their attacks on livestock, once rare, have increased the number of damaging the local economy. Oh gosh, wolf attacks. In there. A sudden surge of wolf attacks has led to disruption of the herding industry. What is the matter with you? You've made claims in all these provinces. Maharaja of Maharashtra, of Rashtrakuta. Hey, I'll be there. I think Nepal wants to have... That's like they're trying to revoke it. Because they want to... Out of here. You again? Bring it on. There. Many foes attempted to reach my rightful place, but times and times again I repelled all pretenders. Now no one could doubt the might of my skills. The title of Grand Champion is yours and yours only. All shall remember your glorious exploits for ages to come. I may be called the Handsome, but that title's forever mine, so I will be called the Champion. Yeah, we're more than ready to fight against the Pala. Deviant opinion. You know what? Get out of here. Ever since you had a miscarriage, you refused to have another child. Is that your reason why? You failed me for the last time. Now I must find another charming woman. Who isn't so clumsy. Chaste, but strongest was 10. Oh my goodness. There's actually a very beautiful woman there. Groomed, attractive. Already has wanderlust. This character has traveled afar, discovered new cultures, new religions, new customs, earning valuable knowledge in all the paths of life. And plus she has a diplomacy education, so that's a little bit of fertility. The most beautiful woman in India. I found her. Ananta Devi. Remember I said that once you become Grand Champion, which everyone knows the exploits of Maharaja Rajaganesha, the champion, the undefeated Grand Champion of the Wheel of Life and Death? Yes, yes, and yes. I've accomplished it all. Now switch to family. Try to be a family man here, and try to have lots of children. And don't forget the subsequent conversion to Jainism, which is for political reasons. It's when it comes to, if you get a lot of sons, and then when they grow up, the question will be, well, which one of them is going to be, you know, the heir? Who's the most skilled? Who's the most qualified? That's the reason. But now we must fight the war. Not subjugation. Just the de jure claim on Murka theory. That's what I was waiting for. Well, it's not at full strength, but we're just here to take territory, win a couple more battles, and then you got it. Good. Find me very attractive just as much as I find you attractive. I'll think about it. But if they bring mercenaries, oh yeah. They're that strong, but we're a bit under strength, but don't worry about it. You got a long ways to go, so we'll hold our position. When they go on the offensive, they'll likely attack us in the jungle, where we can defend easily. Hope they don't hire mercenaries, because he has the money for it. We'll have the defensive advantage, because we'll beat him to it. We may be outnumbered. Actually, we could do better. Again, you have all this glory, and it costs 1,000 glory when you raise another army if things get desperate. So, give me 3. 1, 2, 3. Good enough. So here's the 3. Maharaja. She's Acharya, rousingly lives for the sword. Gopala, not to be confused with Maharaja Gopala the Young. Quick-minded, duelist, coordinator. We could definitely make use of him. And Birwash Divi, attractive, brawny, lives for the sword. Guy, also Kshatriya, territorial leader. See, women are allowed to serve, despite the fact it has the left for sword trade. The key is Kshatriya. Unless you're a Jain or Buddhist, where caste doesn't matter. I think I could use one more. Of course I missed the Prime Leader. So we got a nice variety here of commanders. So I'm moving you out of here. So, knowing that we'll be fighting in defense of the jungle, so I know my skills. What's yours? Unyielding. Okay, we have our defender. You. Despite the fact you're a distinguished commander, but you've been injured a lot. So I can't have a cripple serving in the army. You're being replaced. One more time, alright? Padma Singh. Attack elephant leader. Just like me. Keyword Kshatriya. Yeah, I can't have a cripple serving in the Gupta army. There's storms here. That's gonna hurt the supply limit a little. But it just expired just now, so it'll go away in a bit. Territorial leader, narrow flank. Shall be him on this flank of mine. Who will be on the other? Bravery increases morale defense, and rousing leader, morale defense. So, actually the two female commanders, who are Kshatriya, reminder, and bear in mind, the live for the sword trait is basically the military version of celibacy. They don't care about marriage, they don't want love, they just want to fight. So we'll see how it goes it. Because we'll be there in January. Be there on 9th. And they're going to be there on 23rd. Another brand new book to the library. Beowulf. That's not an Indian book. But nonetheless, it's an old English epic poem. The poem is set in Scandinavia. Beowulf comes to the aid of King Hrothgar, whose mead hall's been under attack by a monster known as Grendel. After Beowulf slays the monster and his mother, he goes home to Getland, and later becomes the king of the Gets. 50 years later, Beowulf defeats a dragon, but is mortally wounded in the battle. That's a martial book for once. I'm stacking up on these study books. Alright, we're in position. We'll be reinforced very slowly. And we only brought these commanders out here. 2 of them are women. For defensive purposes. This is why I did not want to leave the society just yet. Our ongoing struggle outside of Dargar has brought out the best of our military strategists. One of them is a Bengali veteran with a penchant for innovations, suggesting he retire from the battlefront and return to Magadh to continue his work, safe from flying arrows. Wow. Actually, no. We could. There might be some use of you. My lover Suvrata has avoided me sometime on the rare occasions we have met turned to nights of passion I remember from the evenings of arguments and disagreement. It did not come as a shock as she told me she no longer loves me. But it hurt me more than I thought it would. Yeah, I broke up with her. Ever since I miscarried, I don't want to deal with that anymore. Past is the past. Stop that. We got him. You hear that? Now I am a legendary commander. And just now, the book has just been composed. Everyone knows that I spent over a decade directing the work on my book. When today I'm presented with the final product, smile broadly, I can't help but swell with a sense of well-deserved pride. This has been worth all the hard work. The Book of Shadows. Let's see. Where is it? Book of Shadows. Here it is. A rare treatise on the art of combat with daggers. Increases murder plot and combat skill. Yeah, this is my personal weapon that I've had for a long time. Yeah, he gave me a hit there. Govinda Chandra's been turned to a limping cripple. Yet he still thinks he deserves any dignity. Mira should make it clear how pathetic state is. You're a disgrace. Why do you exist? No point in hiding my intentions any longer. He has openly declared me his sworn enemy. Where's the organizer? Guess we won't beat him to it. We are rivals from this day forward. If I find you out in the battlefield somewhere, I'll get you. We're going on the offensive. Bring Padma Singh. Capture the Maharaja, if we can. They did split. Capture 2 more holdings. I hate that man too. Because he's been fabricating claims against me. He could easily strike against me now while I'm distracted. Now it's a serene province. Peace and prosperity has returned. Beowulf has recently arrived in Magad. He has formally presented himself at court. My lord, I am on a campaign to take my rightful titles in a government satrapy from Emira Kashin. With your blessing, I wish to raise support here in the Gupta Kingdom for my growing army. Emira satrapy. That's far away from here. That's the Amira, who controls the said area of Kabulistan. Perhaps Amir Kashin would pay a ransom for him. Success! Oh, we're all smiles, and as I welcome Bobazan into my court, setting a trap for him on the road just outside of Magat. My soldiers took him prisoner and already have messages off to him here to inquire about the possible ransom. There better be some reward for this. Pay up. My lord, while I like Bulbazan to see proper justice, I cannot agree to your terms, Russell. Do with the man you see fit. Perhaps someone will pay for him. Yeah, my ex. You can marry her. Good luck trying to get a child of her, because she'll be careless. An enemy pirate fleet is operating off our waters and is causing significant commercial losses to the province. What am I supposed to do? This is not talking about the sea coast. This is due to the major river with the Genjis here. Oh, I'll organize a fleet to attack the pirates. Following a fight against pirates, we will risk province merchant ships as they will be enlisted in the provincial fleet. The action depends on luck. Acharya's marshal, best or worse, and Acharya will have a significant advantage of winning if he's a pirate lord himself. You have to hit back. We've taken full control of this area, and we'll meet them again. We're on our way. Defeat him one more time, take a province or two, then you'll win. My naval action against the pirate fleet was a resounding success. My ships were able to outfight the enemy. In the end, I could even sell a few captured vessels to make some gold on this venture. The mood of the province improves and my prestige swells. Chinese Civil War is over. It's stable now. Now we can make some real money on the Silk Road. Capture the Bekshuni. Not a person that'll pay well on the ransom. Concubine. She was one of the commanders, apparently. You want her? But she has cancer, so... Well, is she a member of... No. She just defends herself well. No wonder why he's made her a commander. I would try to assassinate, but I'm not going to bother anymore because the next war will be against the Yuda to subjugate for other parts of Bahar, which will happen in the next episode. 100%. All I want is just this one territory that I will have personal control over. And I can usurp the Rajaganesha, which will cost quite a bit of money, but I think we should save that said money. There's a thieves guild here. Yeah, that was a costly war. They put up a great effort, but I'm sure they could put up a fight too, but we're much better in military superiority. And we'll subjugate all these areas. and hope for a son between us. Otherwise, I'm gonna get me some concubines. In fact, anybody here that aren't too old? These don't count because, weapon sword, this isn't gonna work. Because this is where we're at this point. Any women in your court? Man, more Greeks. Seems those Indo-Greeks are rather important to you. Is that who these migrants are? Those Greeks who actually came down here and want to join? Is that what this is about, friend? $145 gold. Oh, why didn't you say so? $200 more gold, and then we'll have a war chest built. There's no money in this, man. Okay, let's just end the episode here. A new school of thought. Captain Theodulos, the Just, has been a talk of all the cultured men recently. It appears they found a philosophical school to rival the ancients. Their thoughts on the mind, the soul, the nature of reality are truly remarkable. This Benamian philosophy will go far. From the captain of the papal guards, he's the founder, Benamian. And he's a doctor of philosophy, so that qualifies it, even though he's the captain of the papal guards. Which is rather interesting. Let's end it here on April. Too bad you got no money in you. Seems you've been here since the beginning, now that I think about it. So, things are getting desperate here. My dwarf daughter continues to grow up, but I have no son. He died sickly. It didn't save him. And there's not much of a Gupta left. Despite my great reputation, but what would be great if I don't have more children? I'll think of a request from that as well in the next episode. So, in the next episode, well, I must have more children. Even though you are very beautiful, but yet I am in a bit of a trouble. No son, no heir. Unless we're gonna get to the point where we'll have to start pleasing these vassals here locally. Well, one in particular. No. It's just gotta please these two. Especially one wants to be on the council, which you'll get it. Oh. No, they're all landed. Yeah, we'll think of something here, and hopefully for a son in the next episode. And also, the capture of the areas of Jharkhand, Western Magadha, and Kashi. And so we would have full control of Bihar entirely. Also, Shantideva just became the kingdom of Kamrup through subjugation. as they conquered my friend here. This would make the Pala, slightly weaker, but they could still be strong in certain situations. Well, we'll turn our attention to the west and unite the rest. And I'm sure some of these lands are in control of this vassal. Well, we gotta get rid of them. Give the land to them. I have this for myself, and possibly for myself too, because I have all this of the domain size. And the subsequent likely conversion to Jainism for domain reasons. And may possibly join that monastic society, knowing that I'm doing some pretty bad stuff. And I'm acting a bit negative here, but I must have a child or else there's going to be the pay. Or possibly forge a bastard son if I am incapable. And domain overseer. We got a lot of things to do in the next episode, and we'll hope you join us for that. But until then, so long for now.